Welcome back to KPRC 2 Plus. June is Effective Communications Month.
Okay.
We all need
trying
to
our
be,
best
I
here.
know
Yeah.
it. Highlighting the importance of good communication in our personal and professional lives.
Thank goodness for the teleprompter. Hey, this morning is Shahara Downing and Krista Clark, two guests of ours, co-founders of Speak House. Thanks for being with us. Good morning. How you doing?
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm doing well.
All right. Well, thanks for being with us. First up, what is Speak House exactly?
Yeah, well, nearly all business executives will actually say that effective communication skills are essential to a company's mission and success, but they will also report that less than half of the workforce is actually proficient. And unfortunately, many of these same companies are lacking the resources to provide their employees with valuable access to training and coaching. And so it's not surprising that this actually hurts employees' career advancement opportunities. And we're already in the midst of the Great Resignation. And more than 7 out of 10 employees are saying they're willing to leave their current job to go to a company that's actually providing the resources to invest in their professional development. So here at Speak House, we're equipping the businesses with the programs necessary to develop their talent into the leaders who will ultimately stay, and providing professionals with effective communication skills training in order for them to build their careers, advance in their businesses, and grow their networks.
And are there different types of communication styles used in someone's professional life versus personal?
Yeah, there definitely are different styles, but here at Speak House, we always say public speaking and effective communicating is anytime you open up your mouth and words come out. So if you are speaking, that means you are communicating. If other people are listening and you're not just talking to yourself, then you're still communicating in public speaking. So even though you may want to separate it from the professional space to your personal space, how you show up, your confidence, and how you're able to articulate your ideas is still going to be a challenge, whether you're trying to get your husband to do something or whether or not you're trying to get your supervisor to do something.
Yes.
You know, communicating on either level does not come easy. We know this. Do you guys mind offering some simple tips for our viewers to maybe improve?
And for us.
And for us.
Yeah, so like I said, the first thing that you want to remember is you don't have to wait for a stage. You don't have to wait for a formal meeting at work to realize that your communication skills empower you. Feel empowered by what you say on a day-to-day basis. Sometimes I think we get a little like complacent with the words that come out, like breathing. Like sometimes we don't even realize that we're breathing, but we know that it's essential to how we succeed in life. So the first thing is understand that if something comes out of your mouth, it has power. It can have impact. For one day, take what comes out of your mouth and what you say very seriously. Now, don't stress yourself out, but understand that you have an ability to use your words to express your thoughts, your ideas, and your sentiments. So show up for one day and realize that what it is that you have to say can impact and change the course of your day. And believe that it's true.
I love that.
Yep.
I do. What if you have just anxiety when it comes to getting your point across? You feel like, man, I have this fear of speaking publicly or really communicating. You have simple tips on how to get started?
Absolutely. So first, I always remind people, remember, you are not alone. Speaking up is something that the majority of humans on the planet Earth are actually somewhat afraid of doing. And myself included. And so the thing is, when you speak up, this is going to make you seem confident in the eyes of people who are just like you. And then another tip is to breathe. When you are nervous, when you're experiencing anxiety, your breath is going to become shallow and fast. And this is just going to reinforce more nerves. No one will complain if you take a moment to pause and breathe. Directing the conversation is actually going to show confidence because you're directing the flow of the conversation and you're commanding attention of your listeners. Lastly, one of my favorites is use a code word to stop negative self-talk right in its tracks. Anytime you negative self-talk to yourself, I sounded so dumb, or maybe people didn't understand me, this is going to chip away at your confidence. And so you just want to have a simple word and actually Actually, mine is literally just stop.
That's the easiest one to remember.
There you go.
Knock it, you know, and it's like my wife. I feel like I'm hearing my wife here in my ear. She's always saying to our kids, your words have power. They have meaning. We have to take that seriously. Ladies, what about all the virtual stuff going on these days? I mean, if we can't be face to face, I mean, forget about public speaking. Just the virtual nature kind of changes how we communicate a little bit.
Yeah, and we've been in this virtual landscape for quite some time. We don't believe it's going anywhere, but a couple of things to consider, whether you're doing a networking event related around work, socializing with a new group of friends, or even something as grand as a job interview, consider these couple of things. One, everyone's name is on the Zoom or the Skype, okay? Everyone has a virtual name tag these days. So use people's names when you're in conversation, especially if you don't know who they are. Calling out people's names provides you a space of leadership. You gain people's attention. It's a quick way to engage people in case people are multitasking. So don't forget to use the virtual name tag inside of that little box. And then lastly, I would say that using stories to make your points, right? We're looking for different ways to connect with people since we don't have the physical space. So how else can we make connections? If you tell short stories about what you love to do or how it relates to the topic of the conversation, there's greater opportunity for you to build rapport, for you to find commonalities, and find people to say, oh my gosh, that was me too. I totally understand where you're coming from. So that creates spaces of empathy. So when you show up in the virtual landscape, still on virtual, don't forget to use people's names and then tell stories that are relative to the topic of conversation. Oh, and don't forget, turn your camera on. Don't be lazy, y'all.
That's right.
Yes, amen to that.
Don't be scared. It's okay.
Shahara Downing and Krista Clark, y'all are wonderful co-founders of Speak House. We need a clinic.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I wish we could talk to you for a couple hours on this, but thanks for being with us this morning.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.